Besides the pleasant weather that day, something sunk into you that had some appeal. I suggested we stroll into town, then you clapped your hands like a seal. We flirted with the cafe owner, needed his war for our translated lies. He shoved a banana peel between his lips, blew smoke right into my eyes. I told him the fish are shrinking in the ocean, a crisis on the seabed. He said his wife was shrinking too anyway, and he preferred the taste of rabbit head. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. We sat down, told the cafe owner, grab us something from your fine fridge. We don't wanna use a knife and fork, we're here to celebrate the anniversary of the sandwich. While we waited, she asked why I had appeared to be so free. Her follow-up question took me by surprise. Why have you been singing a lot of children's songs recently? I was obliged to battle down the hatches. 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 Like the table in my room that's covered in sunflower seeds. From that night I danced with the broom. 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 Some spewing, some pishing, some yelling, some damning, some blasting, some cursing, some telling. There was sleeping, some spewing, some pishing, some yelling, some damning, some blasting, some cursing, some telling. Yeah, you asked me about last night. We ran for miles, couldn't keep the pace. After we arrived home, I screamed in your teddy bear's face. The teddy bear got up and danced, was having some kind of fit. He got up, stood up, whispered in my ear, why did Americans give up cricket? She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. She reminds me of a squirrel in the woods. The sandwich was 3 feet high, cafe owner glancing over the till. My lips pounded, I shouted, I will pay the bill, because Cary Grant would have paid the bill. 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 Cary Grant would have paid the bill.